All right.
All right. Hey guys, we're live. Welcome back to another edition of the Get Growing weekly work session with GetOiling. Let's party this. What's up, you guys? How many of you know who this lady is right here? If you're excited to see Martha, come on over in the chat. Let us know how excited you are. Martha's going to be sharing with you how to have a fear-free business today. If you are brand new and you have never been here before, this is a live call that we do for the GetOiling and Young Living communities every single week, Thursday at noon. And you can find this also as replays on our YouTube channel. This is here for you, a free resource for you to get good at the things worth getting good at to grow your Young Living business. So yeah, really excited to have you guys here today. We've got a special guest training. If you came with a need for help, go ahead and put that in the Q&A so that we can get to that at the close of our call. Let's go check out what's happening in the chat over here. What's up, you guys? Oh, everybody's excited. They know you. All right. Yay! So for those of you who don't know Martha Krejci, you probably have been living under a rock, and that's okay. And we love you. Martha went from zero to gold in 6 months in Young Living in 2019. We have since, worked on some fun projects together with GetOiling and serving the Young Living community. If you guys aren't familiar with Go for Gold, it's Martha's story and techniques that drive that. I think a lot of you have it. It's the Martha. Yes, Heather, the Martha. And Martha's got some exciting new stuff that she's been working on. And I know a little bit about it because I contributed a little bit to that too. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today, but we're really going to dig into some stuff that Martha wants to share about fear and grow your business without it. So yeah, Martha, let's do this.
Boom pow. All right. Well, first of all, if you guys are watching this and are like, I want to learn some information and that's awesome, but you don't have GetOiling, they have not asked me to say this, but listen, it is the best software on the planet, period, for Young Living people. Okay. I myself saved $500 a month just by using their software because I was able to put everything together in one place. Not only did I save money, but it's ease of use. So that's I don't have a horse in this race. I'm just saying they're boss. Okay. So you must. Also, I mean, Ashley, can we just give it up for Ashley? Can we just do all the heck yeah for Ashley? One of my favorite people on the planet. So awesome. And she's moving soon. Okay. So let's talk about fear. Fear is what I like to do. If you guys don't know much about me, what I like to do is I like to touch on paralysis points. I like to be able to shake us loose from those things that we get into in our own heads, in our own minds, that then paralyze us from being able to move forward in what I see as our personal mission work, our personal being able to help other people in our community, to help people with our bat signal. If you've ever heard me talk about bat signal before, it's basically how you draw your people to you and then you serve them. Okay. So now if we get paralyzed, and if we freak out, then we're not going to be able to help those people. Yes. So that's where addressing fear matters so stinking much. So that said, let's go ahead and get into 3 ways to make your YL business fear-proof. And I'm going to drink a little sip of coffee. And yes, those are Christmas ornaments. And that's just what was available. So, okay. So I am not high class, y'all. Okay. I have Christmas ornaments. So number 1, don't cold message or do direct promo posts. Okay. This is something, these 3 things are going to be a little bit they're kind of different, but they're addressing fear in different ways. Okay. If you feel here, let me back up a little bit. If you look at a lot of the network marketing gurus that are out there, a common theme amongst all of them is rapid fire cold messaging. Okay. And maybe there was a time that worked. But really for us in Young Living, it's not heart-centered. It doesn't feel authentic. It feels gross to us. And it doesn't it doesn't reflect well, in my opinion, it doesn't reflect well on a brand that we're supporting with Young Living, right? With what we're doing, we care about people so much that if we just rapid fire cold message people, it's not how much we care and how much we love people will get lost in the translation, because they're just going to see a cold message and be like, oh man, she's just like everybody else. And then you're done. That's from their perspective, but then also from a sustainability point, from your perspective, you can't do that very long. If you really are like working in authenticity and transparency and from your heart, that's not sustainable to do, because you're going to keep hearing feedback from people like, shut up, or I don't want to hear about your crap, or, like that's going to be the response, and it's going to break your heart, you guys, and it's not going to be sustainable. So if you can flip that, if you can instead be able to build your business in a heart-centered and authentic way where you're in service to people, that is fear-proof. And you guys, the duplication of that is perfect, because that is duplicatable. Okay? If you're asking people, if you're telling people that whenever they sign up and they, say they want to build the business or whatever, and then you tell them, okay, cool, well, you have to rapid fire message, however many people a day, and it's a numbers game, and some people will respond and some won't, and some people will hate you and, tell you all sorts of bad things and whatever. That person that really just wanted to help people and build an additional income stream for themselves or for their family, that person that just wanted a little extra cash or wanted to be able to help people as well, isn't going to be able, that it's not duplicatable. If everyone on the planet can't do it, it's by nature not a duplicatable system. Okay? A duplicatable system is reading the directions on the back of a frozen pizza box. Okay? If you can do those directions, because typically we all have a pizza come out that looks relatively similar if we read the directions on the back of the pizza box. Now, some of us wait for the oven to warm up, and some don't, and some preheat the pan, and some don't, and whatever. We've all got our things, right? But at the end of the day, the pizza is edible, usually, unless it's in too long. But you guys understand what I'm saying, right? So, like, the pizza is there, and it's relatively similar across the board. You guys, that is a duplicatable system. Okay. So also, just like a little side note, if you're not in Go for Gold, I have a system, you guys, and it works alongside GetOiling. Like we have partnered up, we have teamed up to be able to rock Young Living, period, in a way that feels good. And you can grow your business. It's actually the system that I created for my own team to hit gold within 6 months. Okay. So if you want to, poke around the internet, you can check out my YouTube channel, whatever. But that is Go for Gold, and that is a system that's duplicatable. That's what you're looking for. So the first point was, don't cold message people or direct promo posts, because that is going to inject fear into your life, because you're going to be putting out these promo posts, and then you're going to be like, oh, that feels good. Like, I don't know if I want to do that, right? You have fear in the back of your mind. Even if you're plowing through it and you're saying, whatever, I'm going to do it anyway, you're still going to get feedback from people that will then trigger that fear. You're still going to get, like, all of that is still going to happen. So that is your very first thing, okay? So don't do that. I wouldn't do that, okay? You do what you want. Number 2, have a system in place that attracts your people to you, then they won't sign up with anybody else, okay? This is another way to take fear out of Young Living. Here's the thing. What I see out in Young Living world, Young Living verse, is okay, if I don't basically put this person in a virtual headlock and sign them up right now, maybe they're gonna sign up with this other person. I literally saw this post the other day, and they were like, 2 other people asked to sign this person up after I made a post. What am I going to do? Listen, if you're following a system where you're nurturing people and you're calling your people to you, your people, hear me, your people won't sign up with anyone else, okay? If you're doing things in a way that is bringing your people to you, and then you're nurturing your people, and then you're doing things like the Go for Gold way, your people will not, they will wait for you, okay? Like before signing up with somebody else. So you don't have to worry about this whole lack, scarcity, freak out, anxiety of, you know, I also hear people say the market is saturated. You know, oh, there's too many people that are already in the market. Blah, 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 blah. I don't know where that comes from. I assume that somebody said it, now everybody else is puking it all over each other, which is what happens, you know, like people hear things and they're like, that sounds right. That's something that validates my fear. I'm going to go ahead and say that too. And that works, right? So let's instead, right? Let's instead back off of that and say, like, I'm going to call my people to me. I am going to serve my people, and my people love working with me. My people love joining my team. My people love being around in the community. They will not sign up. They would feel bad signing up for somebody with somebody else because they just simply don't want to. So you don't have to work with that energy, you guys. That fear, it's not real. You're bringing it on yourself, and it just simply doesn't need to happen. Okay? So that's 2. All right? 3 is create other income streams that support it and make it less scary, okay? Here's the scariest thing on the planet. Putting all of your eggs in one basket and then having to hold your breath and hope that basket doesn't fall, right? Here is what I have done, and here is what I am teaching other people to do. Put many eggs in many baskets. Okay, multiple income streams. Some of them, I mean, I only suggest doing one network marketing company. And of course I love Young Living. So I always suggest Young Living because, I mean, is there a better one on the planet? I'm just going to say no, actually. So, so network marketing, I'm not saying have multiple network marketing. Never in life would I say that. That is actually the worst idea ever in history.
Can't ride 2 horses at once.
Oh my gosh, seriously. You break your legs into your whole everything in the middle, right? That is, we did that. So Thursday morning. So basically what you guys do is you get multiple income streams that all work together. So what I've spent the last 10 years of my life figuring out and creating for myself and my own family is how to sort of juxtapose, is that a word? Juxtaposition. But is juxtapose a word too?
I don't know. Yeah,
is it? Right. Yes. So all of these different income streams where they work together and they turn into like gears that then push other income streams. And so you're not working hard on this and working hard on that in a disconnected fashion. Mm-hmm. You're not working hard on this, working hard on that, working hard on this, working hard on that. What instead you're doing is you're creating sort of like this biosphere of you and how you serve people. It always feels good. We lay down our heads at night knowing that we are serving people, that we are helping families become financially not just independent, but thriving, at the end of the day, you guys, you shouldn't just be selling crap, right? At the end of the day, we should be in service to each other. And what we do with this thing that I am working with right now and that I'm teaching people right now is how to find what those income streams could be for you. And then once you determine what they are, I tell you exactly how to set them up, how to work with them. And so you start building them, okay? I actually have 2 guarantees in my program. And one guarantee is that you're going to make $10,000 a month within 6 months, or I'm going to work with you until you do. Second guarantee is, for me, it took me 6 months to hit 100K a month. So if you break my record, and you hit 100K a month within 6 months, I'm just going to refund you for the cost of the program anyway. So there's that. So those are the guarantees that I have, but the people that are already in the program, we've got over 1,000 people already in there just in the last 5 weeks alone. There are already people that are over 10K a month, you guys, doing things that feel good to them, working from home, showing their kids how to become financially independent and financially thrive. Here's the truth, you guys. Let's talk real hard truth right now. The world right now is not the world we grew up in, okay? If we continue to live life back 40 years ago, as though we lived in a world 40 years ago, you're going to stub your toe every turn that you make, okay? Here is what we have done with my family. We have created an economy around ourselves that no one else can touch. I don't care what the government's doing right now. I don't care what's going on in the world. I have head to toe goosebumps right now, you guys. I serve my people. I make sure my people know how to become financially free, financially thriving. I make sure that they know how to show up in service to their people. So we create a ripple effect. You guys, what we're doing is we're coming back into essentially tribal mentality. We're going from horse with blinders on and everybody's disconnected and nobody gives a rip about each other, which is what, I'm just going to say it, what society has bred in us, okay? What we're doing instead is we are now recreating this tribal mentality where we are here to serve and we're here to help each other become better, right? And everybody that's in my program right now, they're creating their own mini communities that are in service, you guys. And not only are they in service, they're making money, right? Money is not a bad thing. The people, the good people of the world, you guys, need to be the people with the money. Last weekend alone, we were able to give somebody $5,000 to help them get toxic breast implants removed because they were getting very close to their deathbed and they could not afford to do it on their own. Okay? When you see things that you can help out with, when you have money, you can help. Instead of saying, boy, I wish I could do something about that. Boy, I wish I could help in that way. Because that's at the end of everything, you guys, at the bottom of everything. All of us want to serve. All of us want to help. But the thing that keeps us from doing it, you guys, is that we don't have the cash, or we have to be at work all week long and we don't have the time to be able to help, or we don't have the time and we don't have the cash, and then we feel what? Worthless, right? It doesn't have to be that way. We can instead just switch things around, change the narrative, believe something different, right? And that's where all of this starts coming into play. And that's what we've created with our own family, and everybody else is starting to as well. So that was a lot of yelling.
That's how we get though, isn't it? Like everybody heard it was going to be a Martha party today, and they're like, okay, Ashley, go. No, not really though. Like we've got our teams in the support inbox. Greg and Amanda are on the road traveling. Safe travels. Anyway, so oh my gosh, so what you just laid out there, I mean, is fear not the reason why we don't do the things that allow us to create the abundance that we're looking for? Fear is the thing that keeps a thing that's only this big, right, looking like it's this big, and you can't see over it, right? So what was that again? So you're not going to go out and spam post, cold message people. What was the second one?
Second one is have a system in place so people join you, your people join you and don't want to join anybody else.
Oh my God, that's so important, you guys. I think what a lot of us forget, you know, because we get so ingrained in the language of this company and the culture of this company, we forget that, that this company falls under an umbrella, a category called network marketing. And we do a lot of the marketing, right? And we forget the most important part of it is network. network. And what is your network made up of? It's relationships. So if you're putting yourself out there in a way that attracts your people, that relationship is the most powerful thing that you have. And if you're developing that with the right people, of course they're not going to go to somebody else, right? It's not transactional.
Right.
Marketing makes it transactional. Network gives it meaning.
Yes.
That's amazing. And this is what
Amen.
Martha's teaching you guys how to do. Have meaning in how you attract people to you. They're always only going to be with you because that's the love they're looking for. That's amazing.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
all right. So you guys, if you don't know, and I know a lot of you do, we would talk about the home-based revolution a little bit, or like,
yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
This is so exciting. So I am going to put and this is going to be below the link, the replay link on YouTube. I'm going to put this in our chat right now. You guys, Martha is giving away a little a cheat sheet, right? It's three ways to ensure you're creating a successful brand or business that's kind of at the core of like having that meaning and attracting people, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So tell us about that.
Yeah. So something that I did whenever I first started business, period, because I know that there are a lot of people in network marketing that are also sort of dabbling in Etsy and some DIY stuff and whatever, right? Or courses and things like that. What, oh, look at me, there I am. So what I did is I put together, or let me go back. What I went through is a few years of trying different things that I should have stopped. They weren't sustainable. And I didn't realize that they weren't sustainable because there wasn't something like this that I just created. It's a checklist for you to go through and be able to answer questions. By the end of it, you're going to realize whether the thing that you are doing, and it could be network marketing, but you're likely good with that. But it's likely something side gig or other income stream wise. If it's going to be sustainable or not, so you don't waste your time, you don't waste your money. You guys, I wasted, oh my word, almost $100,000 on something that it just wasn't gonna work. And now I look back on it and I'm like, oh, you goofball, why'd you do that? But I didn't have anybody saying, hey, here, can you run through these things, say yes or no to these questions? That's what this is for, is to help you know what's going to be sustainable or not for the long run.
Awesome. So guys, make sure that you grab that link below the video on the replay. Check it out in the chat right now. I just put it in here, scroll through, find it. It's awesome. And you'll actually see that Martha had this page built on her GetOiling site. It may look familiar in format to you. Awesome. Yeah. So let's talk about the home-based revolution.
Oh my gosh. Well, so we're 5 weeks into it and I already have people at 10K a month, which is awesome. Because my guarantee is within 6 months. so 5 weeks is awesome. And actually it was starting to happen at 3 weeks. Home-based revolution, you guys, is everything that I have done that has worked. Because like I said, I've spent 10 years trying and failing, trying and winning. And so I know all the things that don't work too. And a lot of those things that don't work are things that you're going to see come up in Facebook ads. Here, do this email list and stuff, It's not that an email list is bad. I have an email list and it's extraordinary and it's great. And I do teach that as well. But it by itself isn't going to do anything, right? I mean, you need to have everything else set up alongside it. So I show you exactly what I have figured out for our own income streams. I have my friend James in there. He teaches storytelling and video. He lives in LA. Like he's a big videographer. Like he's fantastic at what he does and talking about storytelling. I have another friend of mine, Brett, that's going to come in and he's going to be teaching about how to write your own book. I have another friend that's going to be coming in and talking about investments, and then also your own bookkeeping, like for working from home, your home-based business, your bookkeeping, different sort of like tax strategies that you can use and things like that. You guys, at the end of the day, it's all things personal and family economy related, because like I said before, we built an economy around my family. We are insulated by our own economy, so we don't have to freak out about anything. We don't freak out about anything, right? So that's what I want for everybody. And the reason that I want it for everybody is obviously I want everybody to feel good. I want everybody to be able to live a life that feels like vacation every day. But we have a responsibility to our kids. We have a responsibility to the next generation to show them what really matters and to show them how to take control instead of just reacting to what the government is doing or reacting to what media is doing and things like that, and understanding themselves for who they are and creating their future instead of being allowed to do this or being allowed to do that. That's what I'm not okay with. What I want is for people to be empowered to remember who they came here to serve, and then be able to find those people. And it's kind of like without sounding too woo-woo about it, it's kind of like people wake up. When they come in there, it's almost like they wake up and remember what they're here for. And then our very first week is mindset, you guys. And we crush through glass ceilings, self-imposed, but then also society imposed, glass ceilings that like you feel like you can't get through, or that you're not worthy to get through, or whatever it is, right? We crush through those, and then we move into the do this, do that, do this, do that. And it's all about how I show up, like sort of omnipresent, like I just show up everywhere. And I show strategies on how I do that in less than 5 hours a week. Like, it's just, you don't need to be spending a lot of time. You don't need to spend a lot of money. It's just, we've been lied to for a long time. Is what I'm gonna say.
Ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
We got a lot of people coming in the comments and talking about how much they love the home-based revolution. I've personally, because we get, a lot of folks are with the GetOiling platform, of course. I think Megan reached out just before the weekly work session, had just made a few $100s just off of a course that she put together very easily on the GetOiling platform, following what we teach in HBR. And guys, everything is in there. Everything is in there. And I've been in this space, right? Like this create your own economy, build your brand, and your network marketing company. I've been doing this stuff since 2012. And there's one thing that Martha brings to the table that no one else does in this space. And that is transparency. There is no hidden level gotcha anywhere. Martha is literally pulling the curtain back and breaking this down into sections and pieces, showing you everything that Martha does. So there's not a thing that Martha does that isn't covered in this thing. And it's even added to above and beyond with people who are experts, because just because you're an expert in what you do doesn't mean that you need to be the authority talking about videos. So we've got video guy there, right?
Yes.
So just as an example, you just rattled through a few of them. This is something that if somebody was, is that a puppy?
Sorry, like somebody get the dog.
All right.
Oh,
Herman?
Word. Hang on.
It's okay.
It's Herman.
Hi, Herman. Oh, hi, bud.
Oh man, he's getting all worked up. Oh, you want him, Mike? Mike's gonna come in and grab him.
Okay. While he's hanging out here being a good boy, blending in with the rug.
There he goes. Bye,
he's blending in with the rug. So let's totally got that for him. Okay, so I understand what you've said here is that the home-based revolution this is what you're talking about when you're saying there's a guarantee. Like, I'm giving you everything that I had to get to where I am. And this has been your formula, right? I got to gold in 6 months. Here's how I did it.
Exactly. Yes.
I hit that 6-figure month. Well, let me show you how I did it. So you've got that in place here. If someone was interested, because this isn't just something, we're not sending you guys to a website today. Like we're not going to say like, here, go buy this, right? Because I understanding this isn't necessarily for everyone. So tell us a little bit about if somebody's interested in getting started with this, what that might look like.
Yeah, sure. So, what I do is I have a conversation with people because, yeah, it isn't for everybody. And I, quite frankly, I could send you all to a button to click on and just buy it. But what I prefer to do is have a conversation and make sure that I'm able to help you out because I don't want you spending your money if it's just not the right time yet. And that's, I want you to get results. I don't want just a bunch of people to buy it. I want to get you results. And so, yeah, we have a quick conversation. What you do is you actually message my Facebook business page, which is Living the Dream with Martha. And then you just message it the words case study. And the only reason that you're messaging it the words case study, no, it's not a bot that's going to respond to you. It's just so I know what the conversation is about. So we don't have to go through, hey, how are you? And da 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 da, right? Because I literally talk to a lot of people. There it is. And so that's why you're saying case study, just so we can sort of get to the nuts and bolts of what we're going to be talking about. So yeah, you just message me case study, and I go through 3 questions with you just to see where you're at. Now, I would say about 98 to 99% of the people I do invite into the program, and there's just a couple percent that I just say, I think maybe this would be better later on. I just don't. My thing is I don't want people to come into it and then get frustrated because it's not the right time, because frustration leads to paralysis, and I don't know that it's ever going to be the right time if you get paralyzed. Okay, so I want to be able to take care of you. Another thing that we just added to the program that I don't know is done anywhere else, which, like, I love changing the game. I don't know if you know about me. I'm Martha, and I love to change the game. So we are hiring, or I already hired, a team of client success partners. And so every single student in the program, and it's over 1,000 now, every single student in the program is going to be assigned a client success partner. They are going to be checking in with you to make sure that you're doing okay. So you have that one, because it's group coaching. We have momentum calls every week and that sort of thing. You have the program that's at your own pace, but then there's the momentum calls. But then, you have other questions. I mean, whenever I've taken different courses, I've kind of felt like maybe I was swimming around in the ether and I couldn't anchor on to anything, and I had a hard time really grasping stuff. So and to be able to help people in that situation, because this is a really big transformation, I'm making sure that everybody has people assigned to them. So you'll always have somebody that you can ask direct questions to, and then they come back to me, I answer the questions, and they send it to you. So you will never ever, and that begins in about a week and a half, you will never ever be without somebody that is a direct support to you. And that's something that I'm extremely proud of that we're adding to the program. But yeah, you just send the message case study to the Facebook business page. We have a short conversation, and then if I invite you to it, you're going to be able to sign up for it. Something that, and I know this video is going to be on later, but right now, as we're recording right now, we have 4 days. So August 24th is when the price goes up to its natural price. It is half price right now. It will go up to its normal price, which is 2 times that, obviously half, half and whole, I guess. And that'll be on August 24th. So if you want, if this sounds interesting to you, having a conversation is not a commitment. We're not going to make you feel weird. It's not going to, it's just a conversation. If it's for you, that's awesome. If not, no big deal, no biggie. It's not, this isn't anything that is like a hard sell, and nobody's gonna, I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to have a conversation because I don't want to be sold. Listen, I teach you not to sell. I'm not gonna sell you. Okay, that's not what I do.
If you're doing this right, if you're doing this right, you guys, you're not selling anymore. This removes selling from the conversation. People are ready.
Sell the program, right?
Yeah. When you create that kind of alignment, right? If you're following the steps that Martha teaches, and this is to a degree in Go for Gold, right? Which is very specifically for Young Living. What she's talking about here is creating your own economy, your own business ecosystem, and Young Living fitting within that, right? If you're following those steps, when you arrive at the point where you might otherwise be selling something, they're kind of selling themselves to you. Like, as in, like, you're flipping the script and other
Yes.
people are selling themselves. Like, they're like, I want this because it's so different, right? It's so
very, very different. And that's how they get transformation, because they're coming to you. They don't get transformation if you have finagled them into something. They don't transform that way. They transform if they're coming to you. And that's at the end of the day, any of us, if we're looking to help people out, we want them to be helped out, right? So it's just a better way to do things all around.
Yeah. Awesome. So we did have, half price is, we're talking about the home-based revolution right now. This is a new thing that's just been launched here recently in the last few weeks. It's what we've been talking about here. You will see, those of you who are in it, you'll see that there are echoes of what's taught in Go for Gold. It's just scaled, right? And inclusive of all of the more advanced things that you would be including into your strategy to not just grow Young Living, but to have Young Living be a part of a larger brand ecosystem that you build. For those of you who are, I think I saw there was a question in the comments. Do you try to make sure you come over to the Q&A so I don't lose you and the questions that you ask? For the home-based revolution, if you want to learn about this, and that's the one that's half price now, and the price will go up, you need to go to Martha's Facebook page, Living the Dream with Martha, the one that I showed you here just a little bit ago. We'll include a link. I'll go ahead and actually grab one here in the chat for those of you who are here. And then we'll put it below this replay on YouTube. So go have a conversation. So send case study to that link and you can start a conversation with Martha there. We're not going to send you to a page to sell you something. There literally is not a sales page for this.
Can't go to it.
Yeah, there isn't one. So get in touch. If you have Go for Gold, understand that this is something that is scaled bigger. If that's something that you're looking for, have that conversation. And even if, if you're someone who, and like many, are like, I have all the Martha things. Do I need this Martha thing? You might not. Have the conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, let me see if there's any other questions about this. And then we're going to go into, okay, so D, this is not something that's offered through the GetOiling website for $137. I'm not quite sure. That might be Go for Gold that you're thinking about.
Yes.
So this is not that. Okay. All right, so the home-based revolution is half price for the next few days. Head over to Martha's Facebook page if you're interested in a conversation, and you can get details from there if it's a fit. All right, yeah, there we go. There's Jean's question. I'm doing GetOiling, which is overwhelming. Sign up for Go for Gold. How do you do all of these? There's not enough time. So I have a conversation with Martha, see if this is a fit for you. If your goal is to create your own economy, to have your eggs spread across baskets, and that's how you create your own economy, then you want to have this conversation with Martha to see if that's a fit. But I will say this, guys, for those of you who have all the 10 million things, I normally would say, okay, just do this and just go do the thing that you bought. But I was a part of making this thing happen, and I've never seen anything this comprehensive out there, period. So this is worth looking at if it's a serious direction that you want to head into.
I remember that conversation that we had right away at the very beginning of it. And I'm like, girl, I'm pulling the curtain back. We're doing this. We're about to show everybody the real stuff of like what's going on. That was
so. And you'll notice we don't have any fake scarcity countdown timers, and we don't have a sales page. We're gonna have a real conversation, and you have actually had conversations where you've told people this is not a fit. Like, I don't see this being a fit for you. I don't want to take your money. Right?
Yeah.
So yeah. There is a question here about the difference between Silver Made Simple and Go for Gold. I think the simplest way is like Go for Gold is the blueprint. Silver Made Simple is the action, right?
Yeah. The Silver Made Simple is the daily checklist that allows you to build your Young Living business in 2 hours or less a day. So that's your checklist. Go for Gold is your actual, like, your system itself. So
time management question. Is that something, have you factored time management into HBR?
I tell people to time block. My biggest, I don't factor it into HBR. I talk about it on YouTube a lot. And so like people sort of see all the things. But
I could add a module. I could add a module for that.
Ooh, do it. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. All right,
all
guys.
Right, well, boom.
You're going to get my productivity secrets. I don't know how soon I'll be able to get those in there. I'm like,
write that down. All right.
Yeah, let's do it. Man, I've got some fun stuff to share. I'm running the personal branding intensive right now, which we do a couple times a year after convention and then in the spring. But I just got through refilming and redoing a module of that where I get into productivity and DMO and systematizing, automating, batching, all that kind of stuff. Well, guys, now we're gonna have a little bit of that in HBR. How about that? Do you need Silver made simple if you have the home business revolution?
So Silver Made Simple is Young Living specific. Home-based revolution is it doesn't necessarily have the daily checklist for building your Young Living team. And the reason why is because it's not just for Young Living people. There's all sorts of people. There are people that aren't even in network marketing that are in home-based revolution, right? So the SMS, that's building your team. Like it's building your team. It's keeping up with your builders. It's what you're posting in social media. It's all of those things. So yeah, you would still need, if you still need help building your Young Living team, you would need that.
Yeah. And this stuff it's priced to make it really easy for you, no matter where you're at. And if you're following the steps, oh my gosh, I know a lot of you, probably most of you who are here right now have Go for Gold. Guys, just complete every step. Every time I speak to someone who says, I'm overwhelmed, if you have Go for Gold, all you have to do is watch a lesson, do what it teaches, then move on. The only point at which we get overwhelmed is when we start filling our brains with information that we're not taking the time to take action on. Because now you got all these thoughts running through your head and this energy that's being spent on trying to conceptualize something 3 steps ahead. Watch the thing, do the thing, do the next thing. And if you do that, you wind up with a fully built GetOiling system, not just a web page, pretty stuff, but like the whole thing, and you know how to use it. So follow that, right? And if you're in home-based revolution, follow that. Like this is not especially right now, if you're getting in right now, this is not like a monthly thing. Like you're not going to lose this. There's no FOMO. Complete the work that's being shown to you. Don't Netflix.
Don't Netflix.
Do the work.
It's like in everybody's nature to Netflix. Like, please don't Netflix this.
Let me skip ahead. I know this part. No, you didn't. You didn't do it. Do it. All right. Almost done with Go for Gold. Can you post a link to Silver Made Simple? Is there a link to that inside of? Okay, you did. Perfect.
I did it in the chat. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Do you use Silver Made Simple in a lead group? Do you use that in a lead group, or is that more like you said?
Silver Made Simple has different directives. One is for your lead group, one is for member, one is for specialty, one is for public. I have posts for everything. Yeah, it goes everywhere.
Yeah. So there's a question here. Where's the best place to start? I would say right now, guys. Like if what we've talked about today is something that resonates with you, go to Martha's page and send that message, case study, see if HBR is a fit for you. You know, in the event that it's not, absolutely start with Go for Gold.
Yeah.
Absolutely start with Go for Gold. But take advantage of this right now. It's kind of insane what this is being offered.
I know.
Like just what's
I'm in like I'm in a mastermind where like it's coaches, and you can't even be in the mastermind unless you're making like 8 million a year. And they're like, what are you charging? They're like mad at me for charging this. And I'm like, listen, you guys, I don't play the games of here, I'm going to charge you 25 grand for all of this stuff, right? Like I don't play those games because that makes it not accessible. Right.
Yeah. There are people charging $25,000 for this. There are people who are relegating this to the highest reaches. Guys, you have to understand what's included in this. What's included in this is being offered out right now in the, in the 5 to 6 figure price range. Like you can expect to find this volume of and completeness of information in that price range. So get excited and head over and send Martha a message. All right, so we got a question from Heidi, and I want you to chime in on this one as well. And then we did have a request for a lead magnet review from sweet lady Tammy, who I spoke to yesterday. Saw her daughter as well. She's watching. Hi. All right. So Heidi asks, do you have suggestions on how to write better copy? You and Martha are so good with words. I struggle to make things sound good and catchy. So actually, one of the things that you need to pay attention to is actually right here in the question that you've asked. Sounding catchy is not what we're aiming for. Clarity over cleverness, always. So if you know what you want someone to do, you know the point that you want to get across, you speak that confidently in the same, you type it, write it confidently in the same way, same words as the way you speak, right? Talk out of your fingers like you talk with your mouth.
Yes.
So tell us, what are some of your copywriting secrets around that?
Well, I always think of exactly what people, so I think of what the copy is about, right? And then what I'm delivering. So say like you're delivering a lead magnet or a guide or something. So what is that guide going to do for somebody? What are the takeaways? And not just the surfacey takeaways, but drill down a couple layers. So say it helps somebody do X, Y, and Z. Well, what does that help them do? Okay, so then you're getting a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper. You want for somebody to be like, how did she know that that's how I feel? You want to know, like, you want to be able to speak to that. And yeah, the cleverness is just so like it just kind of makes me want to puke sometimes, because it's just so like, it's dancey and it's like, it's, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of those old websites from the 90s where you have these little cartoon characters dancing all over, and it's just like, what is happening here? And that's what sort of like that clever language does. And people don't care. It's static to people because everybody uses it. But what really matters is getting like deep core authenticity and knowing what your people are searching for. What are they wanting to transform in their life that you're able to help them with this thing that you're talking about, right? And that's where you just go deep on it. And that's my suggestion.
Yep. And always, especially where using the GetOiling platform is concerned, pre-write everything. Do not go and try to engage with a tech tool while also trying to engage the creative side of your brain. Those are two different halves. They don't operate together typically for the average person. You're stronger in one than the other. So don't allow one to suffer from that weakened state, right? So power yourself up by getting really clear on everything that you know you want to say, and then move over. And then you're just pasting and formatting. That's going to make everything easy for you as well. Use your Google Docs or Word. That's right. Yes. Always use a word processor first and then hop over and do your formatting. Let's see, working on the new vaults, have courses you want to charge for. That's so awesome. I'm so happy to see you guys expanding out. We've been adding these features on our software platform to facilitate exactly the stuff that we've been talking about here. You are incredibly valuable, right? You don't just offer oils. Even if you don't know what that is, you've already got a something. You have a gift. You have a reason why people are saying yes to you or will say yes to you if you're just getting started. And Martha's showing you a way to turn that into something magical that can support an ecosystem, an economy for your family. So cool. All right. We're going to do a quick share here. Tammy, are you here? Can you raise your hand for me, please, if you're here? I'm going to look over your page. Hi, there you are, Tammy. Let me see. It's not going to let me. I have to make you a panelist. So I'm going to make you panelist so that you can hop on and speak with us. Hi there. Hi, you got your daughter with you. Hey, sweetie. I think you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
This is so cute.
Hi.
She wanted to say hi. She's like, I know her.
Hi.
And she likes to watch. She likes to watch Martha's videos too.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Lily.
Lily.
Lily. Oh, I love that name. It's nice to meet you, Lily.
Nice to meet you too.
That's a great name and my favorite flower. All right.
Yeah.
So
Hey.
Okay, we got it.
all right, so we're going to look at what your mom made. All right,
Oh.
so, all right, Tammy, can we see?
I
All
can
right,
see
perfect.
it.
So this is a lead magnet that you've made. This is what you're going to offer on the other side of a landing page. So you'll be offering this from your blog posts, your videos, social posts, inviting people how they can get more water in, right? Without the stress, because water is boring. I love it. All right. So I think that you've done a really good job with this. There's a good amount of content here. I think it is important where you are exchanging content for their information. You really do want to provide something that is truly valuable, right? This should not be fluff, right? So you've done a really good job with this. I would say, yeah, of course. I would say just take note of your text formatting in a couple of places where it's a little different than others. It's not a huge deal, but just a really simple thing. If you want to have it, you just want to have it all kind of the same, right? Unless you're trying to emphasize, in which case I would use the same font face, right? So the same font that you have up here, but maybe make it bold or italicized or something like that. All right, let's see. All right, so down here at the bottom, where we're getting into your call to action,
That's where I'm struggling with, is that part right there.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what you want this to do.
Like I said yesterday, my original plan was trying to invite people to my lead group to do a water challenge. But then I like your idea yesterday of this is an ongoing guide for everybody to drink their water.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. So one of the things that you could do, if the water challenge is going to be sort of an integral part of your of your group, is you could have a water challenge maybe in a unit section of your Facebook lead group.
Okay.
Right, so that people can use them anytime, and maybe once a month or however frequently you all do them together, but people can also do them on their own. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. So what you can do then, and I would very highly recommend this down here, all of this, you want to make sure that it is a bolder, heavier font. You want the eye to be drawn to your call to action. So speaking of challenges, for support and encouragement, check out my free community page. We have challenges, engagement, and support. And then you've got learn more here. So I would see how this is bolder?
Yes.
And then this is a little smaller. You really want the emphasis to be down here.
And I don't know why that's smaller. I don't know. I think that's probably from the template.
It could be. It could be. All you need to do is just grab the whole, like when you go into the editor, just grab all of it, highlight it like this, and then set all of it to be the same.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah. And then you just want to make sure that you're linking this correctly, because this is staying here on the page. So on the button, you want to put in the link to your Facebook group.
Okay.
And I would recommend that you choose to open that in a new window as well.
Okay.
And then just make sure in your campaign that you are taking the link to this page and including it so people can come back to it in case they lose the link. And then also make sure that you are providing a call to action in your emails in this funnel, so the campaign part, to encourage them to go over to your lead group.
Okay. So where is people going to find this? And then this will take to the Facebook group. And then I do the campaigns from that. And what kind of campaigns? That's
well. So in Go for Gold, if you're following the modules in order,
and I've done.
Yeah, you'll use those templates. And there's examples of language that are in there that you can edit to your own liking. If you're following those, and it'll show you how they all connect together, but you'll have a landing page on the front end of this, like the one we were showing of Martha's earlier. That's a landing page. It's where they put in their name and their information. And on that page, you're going to say, put your information, put your name and email in here, and you're going to get my 3 tips to get the water you need in daily without being stressed out about it, or however you want to word it.
Okay.
And then the thing is that campaign is going to automatically apply to that contact because it's connected to the landing page. And Go for Gold shows you how to do that. And we've got a lot. And for those of you who don't have Go for Gold, you should have it. But we
Yes.
also have lots of we have lots of funnel trainings that are free on YouTube as well if you want to look through those. It's not the only place you can learn how to make a funnel. So, but yeah, this is good. Just make sure that you have that continuity in your font. And that you really kind of get bolder and maybe even bigger down here at the bottom, because you really, like, the whole point of them being here is, of course, you're giving them what they came for. But then at the end, you really want them to see. And if it's bigger, if it's different, if it's, another color even, it's going to draw their eye there so that they can see the call to action and then take the action that you want them to take.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for being on. All right, so let me see. I had a couple more. All right, just a couple more questions in the Q&A. Thank you guys for being here. Make sure that if you have any more questions before we go, that you are putting them in the Q&A. All right. Allie asks, just so I'm clear, this lead magnet was created using a GetOiling template, correct? This lead magnet that you just saw actually came from a template that's inside of Go for Gold, and it is built on a GetOiling custom page. All right, Carrie, lead groups, can they be put into GetOiling and not on Facebook? Yes, 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 you can do that. If you just really don't like Facebook, you can do that. I actually, I don't love Facebook. I really, really, really don't love Facebook. But there is one thing that really is best to put on Facebook, and it's a lead group. If your people are hanging out on Facebook, if your ideal person is hanging out on Facebook, that's where it's the easiest way to kind of get them in. Martha, what are your thoughts on that? Like, just with a place to kind of corral your leads.
I also hate Facebook. You wouldn't know it by how active I am, but I play the game, right? And at the end of the day, the behavior is this. If we are bringing somebody into our world, we need to make it as easy as possible for them, and we need to require the least amount of behavior changes right away. So making them create logins and things like that is going to be different, and maybe a barrier to entry for some people. So in order to make it the easiest way possible for them to join our lead group and then be able to learn more about us and then want to work with us and so on and so forth, then whenever they're warmed up, creating a login is no big deal. But before that, that's where we have to make the barrier to entry very, very low, like almost as close to the ground as possible, which would be a Facebook group because they're already there. So
yeah. I've got this analogy in my head, and some of you are going to roll your eyes at this, or maybe you're going to laugh, but you know the saying, like, you don't walk up to, the guy at the bar and ask him to marry you, right? So yeah. There's levels there, right? You also don't just walk up and ask him out on a date. You got to buy him a beer first. So, that's kind of what we're doing. Like, this is a very low stakes social trust building exercise. And like Martha said, it's a lower barrier to entry, which is what you want for your leads. And then you have those increasingly higher barriers that they want to cross if they're the right people. That's why your funnel is, that's why we call it a funnel, right? Like, not everybody goes through all the filters down to the bottom, and people choose how far they go, and you put those filters in place. All right. Options instead of the word wellness, since it's used so much and often ignored. It's an interesting question.
I would get specific. What are you talking about? Like because there's the overarching wellness, which is just total static. That's fluff. Or there's endocrine disruption. You can get specific on that. You can get specific on, if you're talking about losing weight, if you're talking about getting more energy in your life, and that's get specific. So drill down. What are the parts of wellness that you're talking about, which you should be talking about anyway in Go for Gold? We should be getting specific about where we sit within this realm anyway. So that's where, wellness is like, it's not even a concept anymore. Like, people just totally, it's just, I don't know another way to say it. It's static.
Yeah. What do they want? Right? What are they like? What's in their head? What's the word in their head? That's the word to use. And it's not wellness. It is going to be highly specific. and relevant to whatever their values are, right? Yeah. So yeah, I would throw that word out like entirely, except for the rare instances where it actually makes contextual sense to use. But in terms of like your copywriting and marketing, you're showing up with a specific thing of value that you offer that is contextually specific and interesting to your right person. So say those words and you'll only get the right people. And that's kind of what you want. Isn't that the best thing about like this business model in particular, right? If you have a job, no matter how good or how high paying the job is, you have no control over your immediate circle of who you work with. You can curate and cultivate your working life by recruiting and building a front line of people that you just want to hang out with, right? That get you. So cool. There's no drama. There's no issue. Like if we leave this to circumstance, you just get what you get. And that's not always nice, is it?
Right.
You get to choose your coworkers. That's right, Allie. Love it. Left corporate and no desire to go back or recreate. Yes. 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 Awesome. Whew. All right, Martha, is there anything that you would like to add to wrap up here? I know we both got to get running. You've got calls and I got to go buy a car.
Gotta go get a car, right? Yeah. Man, I'm going to go to Target and you're getting a car. We might spend the same amount of money though. Who knows? So what I would the last thing that I would say is it's more of a mindset thing. You may have watched today and thought, maybe that'll work for somebody else, but not for me. Maybe that's her life and that's what she gets to live, but I just can't do that. I mean, you guys, 10 years ago, I was an alcoholic living in a basement that was contemplating suicide. Okay. Like let's get very real about where we are and even more real about where we can be. And understand that it's out there for every single one of us. There's nothing special about me. I stayed with something and I learned enough about it that now I can turn around and teach other people about it, right? But all that you have to do is do the things. And that's, I mean, I want for people that are watching right now that are just like, I don't know if I can do that. That's your determining factor, right? Whether you think you can or you think you can't, right? I mean, it's a quote because it's good, right? You think you can, then you can. If you think you can't, then you're not going to, right? So there's Herman again. But that's really it. I want it for everybody. I know it can happen for everybody, and I can't wait till you guys all see it for yourself. Really. Yes.
Here, let's on that note, Jim asked, what's a good mindset read or listen? Do you have a favorite right now?
Conscious Language by Robert Tennyson Stevens, period. You can't listen to it, but you can buy it. You can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on his website. Conscious Language changed my life completely.
Yes, change your inner and outer conversation. Yes, we got all caps, read that book.
Yeah, right.
Awesome. All right, thank you for being here. You guys let Martha know how much you love her. Head over to Martha's Living the Dream with Martha Facebook page. Send that message, case study, so that you can initiate this conversation, find out if the home-based revolution is right for you. And of course, go ahead and click the link in the chat and below the video so that you can get access to that freebie that Martha is giving away. So thank you. And thank you all for being here, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.